Hey guys, this is Master1218, and today I'm just going to show you guys how to create a simple Xcode application and create your very first Hello iPhone application. First thing we're going to go ahead and do, I'm just going to jump right in. First thing we're going to go ahead and do is launch Xcode, and we're going to create a new iPhone project, or Xcode project. And we're going to go ahead and click the empty application. Now if you guys are familiar with iPhone coding, or iOS coding, all of these other basically project stubs are there as a starting point into different kinds of applications. Like this is the familiar tab bar interface, etc. We're going to go ahead and just start with the empty application since we're just doing a hello world. And let's just go ahead and call this hello iPhone. And call it Tangent. And we're going to make it for the iPhone. And I'm going to leave all this stuff unchecked because we don't really need it for this type of application. Go ahead, next. I'm going to save it. So this is where you choose where your iPhone application is going to be saved. I'm actually going to create a new folder called iPhone Demos, and I'll call this Hello iPhone, and I'll save it in there. Or actually, Xcode is going to create the Hello iPhone folder, so I'm going to go ahead and save it in this folder. Oops, yes. Okay, so there are many ways to get your application basically up and running right now. What we can do right now is just see what's actually in the code. So we're going to go ahead and just run it right now, and let's just see what happens. Sorry guys. Let's give it a second. And there. It's just an empty application. This is actually just a default view that's loading. There's actually nothing going on there. So the only file we're going to be looking at here is the application delegate. So this is essentially just what starts when your app is called. This is what you can call like the main class that's going to be interfacing with the iPhone and your application. This is essentially the class that's going to be called or looked at when the iPhone first launches the app. To get what we want though, we need to create a view. So we're going to go to File, New File. We're going to create a UI View Controller subclass. I'm going to call it Hello View. I'm going to go ahead, make sure this is a subclass of UI View Controller, and then hit Next. We're just going to hit Create. Awesome. Okay. So, I mean, one of the easiest ways we can do this is simply just drag on a piece of text that says Hello iPhone. Let's just start with the basics and then move on from there. Hello iPhone. And you can move it around. Once you move it around, you see these blue dotted lines. These essentially just tell you that if it's centered or what. So once we have this done, basically what we've done is we created a view and we told the view what it contains. So if we were to actually execute this view in our iPhone application, this is what we will see on the screen. However, if you recall, I told you that the application delegate is what's called when the app first launches. So we have to now tell the application delegate how to get from the application delegate into our new view that we just created. To that, we're going to go into the .h file. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit import, type import, and we're going to import hello view, or whatever you named your new class. Now in your .m file, we're going to look for the method called application did finish launching with options. And somewhere in there, what we're going to do is the following. We're going to do hello view main view equals hello view alloc init. So basically, this is the equivalent of this is how you would instantiate an object. And what we're going to do now is we're going to call self.window the view. Hold on, sorry guys. Okay, what we're going to do is self.view add subview main view.view. So we're basically going to add and we're going to just delete this stuff here. Yeah, I should do it. Okay, so basically what we're doing here is we're going to go ahead and create a hello view object and add it to the current applications view. Now if you remember, like before, it was just a blank screen. However, now it's going to be loading our new view. And there it is, hello iPhone. But that's very boring. Let's try and make it something interesting. How about we make it so that if you hit a button, this text will show up. So what I did was I went to the library here, dragged a button, put it onto the screen, double-clicked the inside of the button, typed in the title. Alright, so one of the main things you need to know about iPhone programming is how this actually works. Right now we're in what was known as the interface builder, meaning this is where we actually build the user interface. And Apple has made it really nice, and so you're able to just drag and drop objects from the side library here onto the screen, and then that's it. It's just going to show up. However, the objects you place here aren't connected with your code yet. For example, the fact that I put in this button here, I know the button's there, you know the button's there, but the code or our application doesn't know that the button's there. Because this right here is simply what it's going to load onto the screen. In order to tell the code what it's loading onto the screen, we have to actually create objects in our code that point to this, to these objects that are on the screen. That sounds kind of confusing. Let me just show you. So we're going to go to our .h file for our new set of hello view stuff. And we're going to go ahead and right here on this line at interface, we're going to open up a curly brace, and we're going to put IB outlet, UI button, and we're going to do IB outlet UI label, and down here we're going to declare a method. It has to be of type IB action because IB action stands for interface builder action. So if an action is created on the interface builder, this is what method is going to be called. We're going to call this show text, and the sender is going to be a UI button star. Okay. So now that we have this, we're going to go to our XIB file or zip file again. We're going to go here, right-click, and drag onto the label. We're going to call that our label. We're going to drag again onto the button and call it our button. So now what we've done is we've created objects in our .h file, called them button and label, and we've connected them to the interface builder. So now in our code, every time we write button, we're actually referring to the xib file. Okay. The .h file basically is a header file, meaning this is where you declare all of your methods and all of your variable names. We've declared a method, show text, but we haven't implemented yet. We do implementations in the .m file, the implementation file. For the time being, we can just go ahead anywhere before this pragma mark. We'll just go ahead and paste that in there. And we're going to open up some curly braces. So what do we want to do? Well, when the button is clicked, we want to make the label not hidden anymore. So the way you do that is go label.hidden equals no. Well, if the button is the label is going to be set from, we're setting the label's hidden property to no, we have to actually hide it. So what we're going to do is this field right here. We're going to use this method right here. This method is one of those special methods in iOS. Essentially what this does is it's called right when the method is loading. So it's called by itself. So if you want to have any code that starts executing right when you start the program or the view, this is where you're going to do the code. And for us, we're going to want to make sure that label is hidden. Okay. So that should be our code. We're basically almost done here. The one last thing we have to do is go back to the Hello view. So now there's one important question. How does our button know to call our basically our show text method when it's being pressed? And the way we're going to do this is we're going to right click and drag it onto this, and we're going to say, okay, well, when this is clicked, we're going to show the text, or we're going to call the method called show text. Okay. Now that that's done, our code knows exactly what the label is, it knows what the button is, and the button knows what method to call in the code when it's pressed. So now that everything's linked together, we can now go ahead and run the application. Here we go. So now if you just say hello to iPhone, hello iPhone. So that's it. So I hope this is somewhat helpful, just to get you started, maybe figure out how iOS development works and how everything works. I hope you like my video. If you do, please subscribe, like my video, share it. I'm just looking for some sort of positive feedback, and if so, I will go ahead and create more iOS tutorials. I hope you find this helpful. Thanks.